Imam Ali, peace be upon him, is not only for Muslims but for all humanity who are searching for the meaning of life and true wisdom. Sermon 214, delivered at the Battle of Siffin, Mutual Rights of the Ruler and the Ruled. So now, God, the Glorified, has, by placing me over your affairs, created my right over you, and you too have a right over me, like mine over you. A right is very vast in description, but very narrow in equitability of action. It does not accrue to any person, unless it accrues against him also, and right does not accrue against a person, unless it also accrues in his favor. If there is any right which is only in favor of a person, with no corresponding right accruing against him, it is solely for God, the Glorified, and not for his creatures, by virtue of his might over his creatures, and by virtue of the justice permeating all his decrees. Of course, he, the Glorified, has created his right over creatures, that they should worship him, and has laid upon himself the obligation of their reward equal to several times the recompense as a mark of his bounty, and the generosity that he is capable of. Then, from his rights, he, the Glorified, created certain rights for certain people against others. He made them so as to equate with one another. Some of these rights produce other rights. Some rights are such that they do not accrue except with others. The greatest of these rights that God, the Glorified, has made obligatory is the right of the ruler over the ruled, and the right of the ruled over the ruler. This is an obligation which God, the Glorified, has placed on each other. He has made it the basis of their mutual affection and an honor for their religion. Consequently, the ruled cannot prosper unless the rulers are sound, while the rulers cannot be sound unless the ruled are steadfast. If the ruled fulfill the rights of the ruler, and the ruler fulfills their rights, then right attains the position of honor among them. The ways of religion become established, signs of justice become fixed, and the Sunnah, the Prophet's holy deeds, gains currency. In this way time will improve, the continuance of government will be expected, and the aims of the enemies will be frustrated. But if the ruled gains sway over the ruler, or the ruler oppresses the ruled, then difference crops up in every word. Signs of oppression appear, mischief enters religion, and the ways of the Sunnah, the Prophet's holy deeds, are forsaken. Then desires are acted upon, the commands of religion are discarded, diseases of the spirit become numerous, and there is no hesitation in disregarding even great rights, nor in committing big wrongs. In such circumstances, the virtuous are humiliated while the vicious are honored, and there are serious chastisements from God, the Glorified, unto the people. You should therefore counsel each other for the fulfillment of your obligations, and cooperate with each other. However extremely eager a person may be to seek you the pleasure of God, and however fully he strives for it, he cannot discharge his obligation for obedience to God, the glorified, as is really due to him, and it is an obligatory right of God over the people, that they should advise each other to the best of their ability, and cooperate with each other for the establishment of truth among them. No person, however great his position in the matter of truth, and however advanced his distinction in religion may be, is above cooperation in connection with the obligations placed on him by God. Again, no man, however small he may be regarded by others, and however humble he may appear before eyes, is too low to cooperate, or to be afforded cooperation in this matter. One of Imam Ali's companions replied to him by a long speech wherein he praised him much, and mentioned his own listening to him, and obeying him, whereupon Imam Ali said, "If a man in his mind regards God's glory as being high, and believes in his heart that God's position is sublime, then it is his right that on account of the greatness of these things, he should regard all other things small. Among such persons he on whom God's bounty is great, and God's favors are kind, has a greater obligation, because God's bounty over any person does not increase without an increase in God's right over him. In the view of virtuous people, the worst position of rulers is that it may be thought about them that they love glory, and their affairs may be taken to be based on pride. I would really hate that it may occur to your mind that I love high praises, or to hear eulogies. By the grace of God, I am not like this. Even if I had loved to be mentioned like this, I would have given it up, in submissiveness before God, the glorified, rather than accept greatness and sublimity, to which he is more entitled. Generally, people feel pleased at praise after good performances, but do not mention for me handsome praise for the obligations I have discharged towards God, and towards you, because of my fear about those obligations, which I have not discharged, and for issuing injunctions which could not be avoided. And do not address me in the manner despots are addressed. Do not evade me as the people of passion are to be evaded. Do not meet me with flattery, and do not think that I shall take it, if a true thing is said to me, because the person who feels disgusted when truth is said to him, or a just matter is placed before him, would find it more difficult to act upon them. Therefore, do not abstain from saying truth, or pointing out a matter of justice, because I do not regard myself above erring. I do not escape erring in my actions, but that God helps me in avoiding errors, in matters in which he is more powerful than I. Certainly, I and you are slaves owned by God, other than whom there is no Lord except him. He owns ourselves which we do not own. He took us from where we were, towards what means prosperity to us. He altered our straying into guidance, and gave us intelligence after blindness.